Hello, everyone. Welcome to my online Fairy Whisperer class. My name is Carol Weekland. I'm an author, a healer, and a fairy whisperer, and I work with Morgan and the Fairy Sisters of Avalon. So, what is a fairy whisperer? Why am I becoming certified? What is this all about? A fairy whisperer is not only someone that communicates with fairies, but they also help other people learn about what fairies are and their wonderful mission here on Earth. And this is so important right now during this time of ascension. Now, what do I mean by ascension? If this is a new concept to you, ascension is basically the whole idea that our Earth, which is third dimensional, really based in a dark, fear based society, is actually being bombarded right now with all kinds of light coming from the divine and from higher sources that are taking her from that third dimensional base up into a fifth dimensional base. And that is where we live with love and unity consciousness. So it's very much high heart and heart centered based instead of being based in your thoughts and your brain. And fairies already live by this kind of consciousness. So they are really, really keen on helping us to make this shift. And most particularly because they are so connected to the earth and to animals, plants, flowers, rocks, trees, all aspects of nature. It really is only by us embracing nature in all of her aspects that we can ascend from third to fifth dimension. So it really is important right now to connect with the fairies, and believe me, they want to connect with you. Some of you may be brand new to learning about fairies, and if you are, then this is going to be, brand new information for you, and others this might be a review. But we'll start off with the most essential question right now. What is a fairy? So, a fairy basically is an energy spirit. They're comprised essentially of energy that is commissioned by the divine to act as a guardian to either an animal, plant, flower, rock, tree, virtually any aspect of nature. And they are aligned to each of the elements, which is just magnificent. They are, aligned to either earth, air, water, or fire. And of course, the animal fairies, are aligned to whatever element that their animal lives in. So that's how that works. But fairies are just so magical in everything they do. And right now in this overview, I just want to give you some ideas of the most commonly asked questions. So when you are the certified fairy whisperer, you will know how to answer them. Many people have an idea that, fairies are evil and tricksters, and it's really important to help people understand the fairies' true purpose and why they might act certain ways. So, one of the most important things to do is to realize that fairies have egos, just like we do. And so, as a result, um, you know, when they're focused, and they are so focused on what they came here to do, what the divine has commissioned them to do. If, for instance, they are working with an animal and they are that animal's guide, every animal has two guardian fairies, just like we have guardian angels. And if someone is deliberately abusing that animal, the fairy will then step in and sometimes take very dramatic measures to wake the person up. And this can be interpreted as the dark trickster, when in reality, they are basically trying to help not only their animal that they're taking care of, but they are also trying to help the person to wake up. So that's really, really, really important to remember. Another question that often comes up is about fairies stealing items. Do fairies do that? Often, when you have an item that is taken and taken by someone of the fairy kind, that is evidence of a fairy godmother working in your life, which is very, very exciting. When that item returns to you, you have to know that a real life gift and blessing is manifesting and about to follow immediately. So that is quite often um, what is happening when something is deliberately taken from you. So back to that idea about fairies being mischievous. Only, only when they are provoked. And again, it's not that they're a dark trickster. They are basically working to wake that person up. They are wanting me to give examples right now, so I'm going to go back to that idea of an animal that might be abused, which is so hard for us to think about. But for instance, the fairies might work on that person by giving them something that would shock them and wake them into reality and understanding. It can be something as dramatic as running into another car. And I'm not saying that they would cause an extreme car crash, but like literally, bumping into the back of a car to wake someone up like that. These are examples that they wanted me to bring forth. There are just so many other questions that pop up, and here's another favorite one. If fairies are real, why can I not see them? Your best answer to that is fairies, as I mentioned, are energy beings. And so as a result, they are not seen because they don't have a form until they decide to take one. And they only take one when they feel comfortable with you. So how do you get a fairy to feel comfortable with you? Good question. Fairies, when they meet you, tend to scan you, and that is basically moving up and down your body, your energy system, to see how your energy centers are working, your chakras. They check to see how well you treat nature and animals and flowers and plants and trees, Mother Earth herself. And do you eat vegetarian foods? Do you work with environmentally friendly products? Are you at least making attempts to do these different things? If the answer is yes, then once again, the fairy is going to very much want to be working with you. Believe me, they are reaching out to everyone that has an open heart. And that is something that they want me to mention right now, too. They work and look for people that have their open high heart and open heart. And if you are working on that, if you've already succeeded in that, then they are that much easier. They very easily are able to come through to you and manifest in visual or auditory ways. How do they appear? Once again, they will take whatever form they wish, or more particularly, whatever form you anticipate. So if you're thinking, I'm seeing Tinkerbell in my mind, then they can, manifest as a beautiful, tiny winged beauty, or they can be more commonly sparkles of light. They can be green orbs that appear. They can appear as a person. We have a lot of people, a lot of fairies that incarnate as people, or they just come and pretend to inhabit a person so they can communicate with you, or an animal. These are all ways that they communicate with you. And does the communication come through? Another good question. It can be through your dreams. It can be through images in your mind. If you already communicate with animals, dragons, unicorns, all these different creatures, you know that they can quite often communicate through imagery that comes into your mind. You'll see an image of toothpaste or, just something that they're trying to communicate to you. They also can be heard by many people, just depending on where you are with your clairaudience. All of this is coming back into being right now during these energy shifts. So everyone is going to have this ability in the near future. This is coming to be. So it can be that you hear them. It can be also that you see them and they will speak to you that way as well. So there's just many, many different ways that fairies take and communicate with us. Can you hear that right now? We have a squirrel communicating, a little bit of chattering. Squirrels tend to remind us about balance. So I think that's a message to me to remain in a balanced state today. If fairies are always reaching out to us, this is another question. How do they show us that they're trying to contact us? Fairies send us messages according to their realm that they're from: earth, air, water, and fire. So if it is an earth fairy, especially a gnome, a fairy that works with rocks, they will present you with a rock when you're out walking that you see and you can't take your eyes off of it. This is a good indication that an earth fairy is trying to contact you right now. Water fairies, I'm right near a creek. I don't know if you can hear the water. They communicate through our dreams, which is a very beautiful means of communication. You can have dreams of water fairies, water dragons, and once again, they're working with imagery in those dreams and communicating through that. When you go to sleep at night, you can ask the water fae to communicate to you through your dreams and then ask to remember it when you wake up. The fire fae communicate with the sun. I have a beautiful sunny day today, even though I'm in the forest. You can see it coming through the trees. And you can basically be out in the sun and soaking in it and getting all the light messages and light codes that come from the sun and from the fire fairy realm. But traditionally, we allow the fire fairies to approach us. That is the best way to go about it. And the air fairies, I haven't mentioned them yet. The sylphs, they will present you with a feather. And if you have a feather that you see when you're out in nature, you can't take your eyes off of it, that is an air fairy reaching out to you, wanting to communicate with you. So these are all different ways that fairies try to communicate and work with us. And the proper etiquette is, if you receive that stone or that feather, to pick it up, take it with you, or literally, if you can, do a meditation with it right there on the spot. And that would be just a magical way to get started and connect with that particular gnome or sylph that gifted you with that feather or rock. Now, they're wanting me to take this moment in this introductory video to just start with you communicating with fairies, a very short meditation. And I'm not with you, but I'm going to facilitate it from here, and then I'm sending my energy out to you as you begin this meditation. So I would like you to choose if you want to work with earth, air, water, or fire fairies right now. If you choose earth, we will be working with the monarch. His name is Gog. And what I would like you to do is put your feet flat on the ground. which I'm doing right now. And I would like you then to reach out with your senses and call on go 3 times. Go, go, go. And then call out with your name 3 times. I'm gonna use my name right now. Carol, Carol, Carol. And then there is an archangel that works with each of the different fairy kingdoms. Fairies are a different order of angel. They're an earth angel. And so we call with the archangel that works with the earth fairies. That is Archangel Uriel. Auriel. Uriel, Uriel, Uriel. And you allow yourself to just feel yourself growing silver roots into the earth and connecting with that realm. If you're connecting with the water fairies, connect with Nixa, the monarch. Nixa, Nixa, Nixa. Your name 3 times, and then the name of the archangel that works with water, and that is Gabriel 3 times. If connecting with fire, you would call on Jin, 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 your name 3 times, and Archangel Michael 3 times. And if you're working with air, you would call on Peralda, 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 your name 3 times, and Archangel Raphael 3 times. Allow your energy to go out and communicate and listen for their responses. This is the first meditation I would like you to do in communicating with the Fae. What do you want me to know? How may I serve you and your kingdom? And then send them blessings from your heart. Blessings to you, dear one. I'll be back